joining us today for the Creators Vlog Hop. You're currently with myself, Laura Mackie, a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I'm going to share with you today the card I've made for the hop. My card is a mail card. I've done it as a Father's Day card, so quite a plain front, using the In Good Taste DSP with some Night of Navy cardstock and then some denim ribbon. It's got quite a plain feel to the front, but when you pop open the card, quite cute. I'm really pleased with how this turned out. I did a little sketch and had this little idea in my mind. I had no idea if it was going to work, but I was quite pleased with how it turned out. So the stamp sets I've used for this is a Good Man for the little man in the deck chair, and then it's used with one of my favourites, and it's such a classic stamp set, Waterfront, which I've got those here. So Waterfront and a Good Man. So they're the two we're using. The elements for the front, I've used, the dies are from Word Wishes, and then the stitch layer behind is from Stitch So Sweetly. So yeah, I'm going to share with you how I've made my card. So you're going to need, for the front, a piece of Night of Navy or your chosen colour, which I'm just going to check. I think this could possibly be the right size. So yeah, 10.5 centimetres wide, by full A4 sheet, and then I'm just going to score that at 14.85 centimetres. Fold that and bone folder. So that is the front of our card. I'm using a piece of the In Good Taste DSP, and I love this paper. It's all textures and wood grains and stuff, and this has got a hint of Night of Navy with like a embossing paste look to it. And that piece measures 10 centimetres by 14.35, 14.4 centimetres. Whoops. And we can go ahead and stick that down to the front. Just going to lay it front just so it keeps flat. A piece of tombow, a little bit of tombow all the way around. And stick that there. So that size just gives you a nice little neat border all the way around. Then to add the ribbon, just move my glue out of the way because that could be a recipe for disaster. And just to add the ribbon, I just lay it on. And I'm not doing very well here. It's because I know the camera's above me, isn't it? Start that again. So 1, 2, 3. And then I'm just going to trim that off, and then I quite like just to staple it in place to hold it. Don't worry about the staples inside because we will cover that with the pop-up element that goes inside. I've got a pre-cut stitched shape here, and I've got pre-cut die-cut letters saying Happy Father's Day, which I've die-cut in Whisper White. I'm going to start off by sticking down the father's piece. Still a little bit attached there. Little humbug doesn't want to get off. There we go. So to stick them down, I always do little tiny little bits of glue, just randomly over the back. Like so, and I'm sticking the father's piece down first. I've still got a little tiny bit. I'll get that in a minute with my pokey tool. That's going to stick there, and I've got a little funny bit in there. Just use my pokey tool just to get rid of that. And I've got a little bit of glue there, but just seeped out slightly. It does dry clear, so I'm not too worried about that. And then the same again for the happy. that's going to stick up the top there, and then the same again for the day. It's going to stick down there. Now my fingers are a little bit sticky. Things are going to stick to my fingers. Still got that little piece there. Look, there we go. That's got that. Right, and then I'm going to pop 2 dimensionals, top and bottom. And then stick that onto the front. So just checking my cards the right way up, because we don't want to stick that on the wrong way up, do we? And then that goes, that little bit's still on. That's determined that wants to be in the mix. So yeah, that's the front. I'm just going to trim that piece of ribbon up just slightly there. So that's the front of our card. So it's quite simple, the front. It's going to leave it so the big bang is on the inside. Just going to pop my card to one side. I've got one little man there pre-stamped, but I'm going to stamp another one with you. So just stamp in the man in Memento ink, because we're going to colour him in with Stampin' Blends, although you can colour him in with whatever you fancy. So stamp him there, and then he can be nice, drying nicely while we stamp the rest of the card. So for your inner for your card, for the pop-up element, you need a piece of Whisper White cardstock, this time full A4 sheet but trimmed down to 10 centimetres wide. You're then going to score in half at 14.85, the same as what you did for the front of the card. Just folding that in half, and then you're going to trim it with the bone folded edge at 14.5 and just trim that down. So then this is going to be our inner for our card. Just show you. So that's going to then sit in there nicely with the nice neat border all the way round. To create the pop-up element piece, I'm going to show you using a pencil and a ruler and a craft knife, although if you feel confident you can do it straight into your trimmer. So lining up with 0 on the left hand side, mark at 2.5 and 5, and the same again at 2.5 and 5, and then you're going to turn and you're going to line up 2.5 on the score line, and then you're going to mark at 1 or 0 and 5, and moving along marking at 0 and 5, just so that gives you where you're going to cut, how far in you're going to cut, and then how long you want those score lines. So with my craft knife, I'm just going to set that on my little marks and down, and then stop at where the 5 centimetre mark was, and the same again on this side, down and then stop. So then you've got 2 little slits there, which are 2.5 centimetres either side of that score line, 2.5 centimetres wide and 2.5 centimetres in. Those little pencil marks, I'm just going to rub those out because we don't need those now. And then to get that element to pop forward, just going to bring it, push it forward with your finger, and then using a bone folder, and just bone folder that down. Okay, just going to give that a little rub in there, and then that creates your pop-up element where your little man is going to sit on the chair. So now the stamping and the inking for the inside. So for the sand I've used soft suede, and for the sky and the water I've used balmy blue. So I added some sponging around just the top 2 sides and across the top, just in balmy blue. And this is just using a sponge with the ink. Just rubbing that round. Like so. It's sort of just about on the top, just above the halfway mark, really. So we've got that there. Just going to cover that up because we're going to go in now with using the Waterfront stamp, and this stamp here we're going to use the So Saffron, and we're going to add our sand. Just literally just fill in. I'm not worried about stamping over the pop-up piece. I'm not worried about that at all. And then I'm just going to fill in first and second generation ink now. Just fill in that over. Okay, and then the other thing I added some little speckles with the Stamp Out of Waterfront, just to fill in, and it also adds a little bit of a look of a texture of sand. So you got something that looks like that. Then for the C, I used one in blue of what we've just used. I just need to clean that stamp up a little bit more. So just one in here of that. And then the rest, I used the little double line stamp. And then I just literally stamped in first generation and second generation, just fill in that area there. Okay, just do a little sneaky one there. Oh, and I just put some blue ink on it. Don't do that. Right, so that's filling up. Now we're going to add the little palm trees, which for the palm trees I've used soft suede. So I'm going to add a couple of trees there, one tree just coming in there, to that, and then to that. Then the little palm trees are in Granny Apple Green, and just place those on top of the palm tree trunks. There we go. Greetings, I added two greetings. I added You're the Best and Relax Your Way, and those are both from the A Good Man stamp set. So I had one down here, one there, and the other one I had at the top. I have to stand up to do this. I'm not sure if this is going to be very straight. Oh, it's not bad, is it? Not bad, not bad. So that's all the stamping there complete. So now you are ready to colour in your man. Just going to wipe my glass mat because I have a lot of ink on there from where I've just sponged, so I don't want anything to get inky. So colouring in the man. So here are my stamping blends. So I used Dark Pool Party for the stripes on the decking, on the deck, I can't even think of the word, deck chair. Deck chair. So I didn't worry about blending and light and dark on that. I'm using Light Petal Pink for his skin. He's not been sitting out in the sun long, hence why he's quite pale, bless him. And then he's going to have a Night of Navy hat and shorts, which I'm using the dark here. And I'm just sort of adding highlights on his hat, and then I'm going to go in with the light just over the top of the dark there, just to blend that in. And then the same on the hat, but just blending that ink. And then I'm just going to add the little bit of dark in again, just to add some highlighted areas. And then his top I've done in mint macaron, but you can choose any colours you fancy for his top. I was going to do him a yellow top, and then I realised that a yellow top was probably quite silly, bearing in mind he's sitting on yellow sand. So, and then I'm just going to go in with the light and just work over the top of that dark, just to blend the two colours together. Okay, and then I'm just adding in a little dark just on those where them sketch lines are from the stamp, just adding a little bit more dark. Okay, then all I did before I cut this out, using this thin, just need to clean that a bit because I've got all ink around that. So using this stamp with the So Saffron ink, just going to cut the other one off here because I don't want to get him inky. I just added a little bit of stamping just behind his chair and in those gaps, so when we cut him out, let me show you one here. So when we cut him out, it kind of looks like the sand is still there. Can you see that okay? And then it kind of makes the pop-up bit element kind of blend in quite nicely. That's why I did that. Just give that a little bit of light there. And then he's ready to hand cut out. I'm just going to cut that out quickly. So I kept all these little sketchy lines and stuff. Just lose that bit there. There we go, so that's him cut out. And then is what I did to stick him down. I popped the glue on the pop-up element, because it's what you don't want to get. You don't want to get glue elsewhere, and so it then sticks to anywhere around the card. So if you just put the glue on here, you know you're only going to get glue where you want it. And then I kind of just kind of put him where I wanted him. And then I didn't mind. There we go. So he kind of blends in now. You can't, kind of blends in on the pop-up element. Ignore my little whoopsie there. Look at that. So that's that. So then that folds up nicely. And then to stick him into your card, so open your card up and make sure you've got it the right way around. I stuck down the base of my card first. So I'm going to hold that card up way, and then just line it up and make sure that score line is right against that back on the base of the, lined up with the base card there. So it's nicely lined up, so it's going to close nicely. And then I'm going to flap that back down and then add adhesive onto the other side. and then again that up there, and then just nicely line it up and press down on the front there, on that side. So there we have it. So plain, quite inconspicuous front of the card. Open it up. Woohoo! Relax your way. You're the best. And then you've got a little area piece there where you can write, or you could add a little panel on the back. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you like what you've seen, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And also all the measurements and everything you need, sizes and everything else is all listed on my blog, which the link is in the description. Thank you, and don't forget to click over now next to the next blogger in the blog hop. Thank you.